In the midst of a February frenzy of college basketball, we step aside now for BYU football. Athletic Director Tom Holmoe joins us on True Blue to reveal the 2014 football schedule. Welcome back to the studio, Tom, at a very busy time of year. How's your blood pressure doing right now?
It's okay. There's not a lot of surprises to announce today, so I'm not feeling quite as nervous as maybe in the years past.
Okay, BYU football 2014 edition begins on Friday, August 29th at UConn. Tom, the Cougs head east to East Hartford and Rentschler Field, a.k.a. the Rent, for the first time, this game on ESPN.
This is a game that we started to put together a couple years ago, and it took a while to get it. Last year, UConn was a little bit down, but they've had a very good team in the last couple of years make it into a BCS game. So one of the things about scheduling out is you're not really sure what you're going to get, but they won their last three last year and look to have a better team this year.
Initially, we thought this game was going to be on a Thursday. What pushed it to a Friday?
ESPN. they're able to put this game on TV. It's at the start of the season. I'm really excited about it, and so is UConn, because this is the Friday before the Saturday that kicks off the season. So there's a lot of college football fans that want to see the first game. There might be one on Thursday, but one of the first games of the season, non-Saturday.
Steve Young's home state, so I know he thanks you indirectly. Game 2, a circle date on every Longhorn fan schedule at Texas, September 6th. What kind of welcoming party do you expect for Taysom Hill and BYU?
Ooh, this one, they've been looking at this one since we beat them last year in Provo. But this is a great series. We've had a couple games with them and looking maybe in the future to do some more. But they're going to want some retribution, and they are very talented. They finished off the season way better after playing us last year. So who knows what this game brings in Austin.
Why do you like the prospect of playing in a big-time college stadium like that early in the season?
Well, I think anybody that plays high school football, college football, professional football, you live to play in the big games and the big venues. And if you've been to Austin and Darrell Royal Memorial Stadium, it's something special, over 100,000. So when our kids see that place filled up with all this burnt orange and a little bit of blue, Cougar blue, they know that they're in for a special treat.
A game BYU almost won in Texas a few years ago. Quick turnaround for Game 3, BYU with a home opener on Thursday, September 11th against Houston. Another ESPN Spotlight game. This is the earliest we've ever known any of these TV arrangements.
Well, this was a classic game last year in Reliance Stadium, and Houston was for real. And this is one of 7 teams last year that was in a bowl game, and now we get another side of Houston. They too felt that they should have won that game, so they'll want a little revenge. It's great to have that game early on TV, and it's just how the schedule works. With ESPN, anything can happen to get on TV.
Little Texas two-step early in the season with the Longhorns and then with Houston in Provo. Game 4, Saturday, September 20th against Virginia. Home again for a bit of a vengeance match.
You know, I don't really like to talk about vengeance, but we've been on both sides of them now, it seems like. But that was a game last year where we went down to Virginia, and there's a lot of reasons why we lost and a lot of reasons why we didn't win. So we're going to come back this year and try to play this one straight up and be able to get a little one back.
I like the idea of getting one back against Virginia. After a bye week on September 27th, Game 5 Friday, October 3rd, in Provo against in-state rival Utah State, and this is developing into quite a tasty series.
Just my exact sentiments. I really feel that when BYU plays Utah State now, there's a great respect on the field, but it's a big game. Utah State students came out in numbers last year. We got off to a great start. Unfortunately, their great quarterback, Chucky Kelton, got hurt, and now they're going to have him back. They'll be ready to roll, and this is going to be a good game for this year and in the future.
Traditionally, this is a Friday game for general conference reasons in the LDS weekend. Do you like playing Utah State on a Friday?
I really do. I like the tradition of it being a non-Saturday game for the religious reasons. Utah State doesn't have to do that, but they have a lot of fans that enjoy that also. And Utah State's administration was great in scheduling future games around this Friday before general conference weekend.
Game 6, Saturday, October 11th at Central Florida, a trip to Orlando. You go back east and way east again.
Well, as I look at these Google Earths, it seems like we're going to be doing a lot of traveling. I knew that going in, but to play these teams, you got to play them when they want to play. And this UCF had a great opportunity for us to go home and home. and there was a game in between, or a year in between. But now to go down there and play in that humidity, it's tough, and they'll be good. Obviously going to a BCS game last year, they lose their great quarterback, but they got plenty of athletes. I look for that to be a great game.
What kind of a BYU contingent do you expect in Florida?
We'll have fans down there. Whenever we go to the South, we've been down there. Last year we were in Virginia. We were at Georgia Tech a couple years ago. And I'm telling you, it's great to be able to go down there, and you know you're going to have at least 5,000. It just depends on how we are at that time of the year. If we're undefeated and playing great, we'll have a bunch. If not, maybe dwindle a little bit.
Here's a look at the first 6 games on the 2014 BYU football schedule. Tom, the home games are in yellow. What appeals to you most about the first half of the schedule?
Well, I like playing the game early before the first Saturday of the regular football season. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then coming back and playing Texas again. It's Texas, enough said. They have a huge college football tradition. That Houston game was a Donnybrook last year, and everybody looks for that to be similar. Coming back after that, you finish up with 3 more, and at that point in the season, you're going to know. People always say, what kind of team you're going to have this year? I say, give me a couple of weeks to see how we play. But after 6, you're going to know exactly what kind of team we have.
Fair enough. And the Donnybrook is a good word for that Houston game, 47-46. I don't know if I can handle a 47-46, let alone the athletic director. So we'll look forward to that one, too.